It's not about entering into a stock. You have made some good returns, but the game is all about position sizing. The next way to scale your system or to improvise is, and for this, we use an indicator called as entered into a company, you have made some good profit, you have made some good returns, but the game is all about position sizing. So, what do you mean by position sizing? Position sizing means any stock you have entered, how you can increase the percentage of allocation into that stock is very important. So, there are two people, person A and person B. Both of them have made 50% in a stock in just a period of 1 month. So, that's a good, very good return in a very short period of time. The next question should be how much is the position sizing in your overall portfolio? So if the person A says, in my entire investments, in my entire portfolio, I have 2% allocation into that stock, and person B says, I have 5% or 8% allocation into the stock, so person B has done wonderfully well than person A. So yes, I want you to complete the equation of entering into the companies. It's not only about choosing the stocks, it's not only about making profit, it's not only about in your portfolio one stock showing X percentage or Y percentage of returns. The next way to scale your system or to improvise is on your winning companies, add more. I repeat, any stock in your portfolio which is doing well or which is getting good profit, try to maximize your investments in that, right? Try to increase your tranches, try to increase your investment in that, and finally ensure you have your position sizing or position allocation into that more. Now, sir, how to increase? Two ways of doing it. One, you just look at the fundamentals or you just take a decision based on the news, some qualitative factors, or you take your decision based on the information which charts tells you, which a system tells you, which a process tells you, right? Instead of taking decisions emotionally, have an objective way of investing wherein the charts, the trading view tells you to add more. And for this, we use an indicator called as Donchian Channel, right? Yeah, we use an indicator called as Donchian Channel, which helps you to add even under a shorter time period on daily time frame. For long-term companies, even on a weekly time frame, if you want to add, you can also add in weekly time frame, right? So let's discuss the same with couple of examples, right? With couple of examples. So let me share my screen. Let's say I've been into a stock, South Indian Bank. Okay, South Indian Bank, and yes, this is one of the stock wherein in our weekly mastermind sessions or in our inner circle calls from a very long period, right? From couple of quarters before, we have been discussing after the change in the management and the company reviving, right? And the company reviving. Now, South Indian Bank, yes, even under a weekly time frame, if you look at it, almost from July 22, it's in a very good mode. The strength is continuously picking up, right? The strength is continuously picking up. So you would have added at various points of time, just following the company's characteristics. Else, what you can do, you load a Donchian channel on this chart, and Donchian channel will give you a buy, add decisions, right? Add decisions. So I'll go to the indicators, I'll go to technicals, and I just select there as Donchian channel, right? I just select it as Donchian channel. Yes. Here, you see in the setting, we look at 20. You can just leave the default setting as it is. So it will be looking at last 20 days. Whenever the stock has reached a new high, it will be giving you a channel, right? It will be giving you a channel wherein whenever there is a channel like this, right? In the last 20 days, wherever it has a high, it will form a channel, right? So if you observe here, yes, wherever you got a trigger entry into South Indian Bank as an entry, right? So if you observe, this is one Donchian cut, which is a trigger for you to add. Again, we had one more Donchian cut on 17th October. Again, you add here, right? On 24th of October, you had a Donchian cut, you add here, right? 31st of October, yes, you had a Donchian cut, you add here, right? So on a weekly, the system is so easy, right? The system is so simple. And as I always say, less is more. You need not have multiple indicators loaded. You can keep your system as clean, as simple as possible. Simplicity is overrated nowadays, right? Simplicity is overrated nowadays. So a simple system, even under weekly, you just follow. And as you get a good Donchian cut, you keep adding, right? So all these Donchian cuts, wherever you are observing, right, it is an addition. And even during this period from December, right, from December to almost till 3rd July, right, when the stock is in the sideways, if you are following this under weekly time frame, right, on 3rd July, you add. Now we can also add based on daily time frame, right? So before going to daily time frame, I'll be telling you a couple of points of what you need to watch out for Donchian. First pointer is, yes, you need to have a healthy candle, right? You need to have a healthy candle, right? Second, with the healthy candle, if there is good volume coming up, which means, yes, more number of buyers are showing interest, right? More number of buyers are showing interest. So price and volume is reflecting. Third, when the candle is forming like this, right? This is a candle either on a daily or on a weekly, right? And your Donchian channel is crossing like this, which means Donchian is cutting the leftmost corner, right? Donchian channel is cutting the leftmost corner of a candle. This is a very good setup. I repeat, a healthy candle with no wicks, right? With no day high, day low, with no wicks, cutting the leftmost corner. This is a perfect entry, right? This is a perfect entry. Or Donchian channel, which is cutting the leftmost corner of a candle with a small wick, right? So this is entirely a green candle, a positive day, and your Donchian is cutting the leftmost corner, right? So in either of the scenarios, whether there is a small wick is available or if there are no wicks and your Donchian is cutting the leftmost corner of the candle, this is a very good entry setup for you. And the third point, below the price, right, if the volumes are also stronger, this is a perfect setup for addition, right? This is a perfect setup for addition or adding more into the stock. Donchian channel we mostly use to get a guidance for addition of more stocks into the portfolio, right? Into the portfolio, right? So yes, a good price candle, a good volume, and a setup like this is very, very healthy. Is very healthy, right? So you don't add during a red candle. You don't add during a falling market. Every rise, right? Every new Donchian cut, you add. So now let's see South Indian Bank even on a daily time frame, right? I'm looking on a daily time frame, means on short term observation, right? I'm observing the stock for short term. So if you look here, right, during this entire period, it was like a sideways, right? And even from this period, even on 1st June, a very good Donchian cut. Again, we had Donchian on June, right? 3rd July, 7th July. All these are triggers for you to add. 12th July, even if you go back in 2022, right? Yeah, in 2022. So every Donchian cut, good green candle, and good volumes, you keep adding, right? You keep adding. And even recently, right? Yeah, this is like July 23. And even recently, so all these are the triggers for you to keep adding. During this entire period, sir, the stock is falling. We don't add during the stock falling, right? Even if it is increasing, we can wait for a new Donchian for adding more into it, right? You have already taken a position into the stock and you want to take a decision whether I want to add more or not. You keep adding, right? Here you add. And even recently, yes, for all the members who are already there in the stock, it has given a trigger on 16th Jan, a new Donchian cut 18th Jan, even yesterday edition, right? The system should be so robust that it will help you to add continuously. For example, right, Varun Beverages Limited, VBL, if you consider the stock under a longer term, right, sir, I just wanted to be there. And the best part is there are many people, right, many investors or many traders. Sir, there are 5,000, 6,000 companies. Every week, how can I research which company to enter? If you have your system, right, the existing stocks in your portfolio, whichever gives you a trigger to add, you can keep adding the stocks in your existing investments itself, right? In your existing portfolio itself, wherever you have room to add, you can just keep focusing on increasing your positions there itself. And yes, market will give you multiple opportunities to enter in various points of time. So if you look at Varun Beverages Limited, right, even from COVID time, right, let's go back to 2020. Yeah, let's go back to 2020, right? Even if you see here on a weekly time frame, whenever you get a new Donchian, the price and the volume cutting, at every opportunity, you just keep adding, right? See, all these are opportunities for you to add, right? Even if you observe here, what did we study? This is a very healthy candle, right? Healthy candle, because a good green candle crossing the leftmost corner, good volume. We need to add. Similarly, if you look here, a good price, leftmost cut, and a good volume, right? This is a confirmation for the setup that yes, we need to be more there, right? We need to be more there. And yes, during this entire period, it was flat. You wait for a trigger to enter. It gave a trigger again in August. It was flat. Again, a trigger, right? And November, your 13th November, your 20th November, you keep adding, right? Even on 18th December, it has given again a trigger. On a weekly time frame, as of now, it's just flat. It's not weak, it's just flat. One more Donchian we get here. And if we also see a similar kind of a good price candle with a very good volume, right? With a very good volume, again we keep adding, right? Again we add. So a system makes your life much easier, right? Makes your life much easier, right? So yes, sir, I have taken an entry based on the Donchian, and the stock is not going up again, or it is in a flat, or it is consolidating, or it is reducing. Until unless your exit triggers, you can be there, right? You can be there. And the reason we add during a Donchian is when there is a strong confluence or when there is a strong a setup of price and volume, there is a lot of demand there, right? We can just follow that. We can just be there, right? Even let me show you one of the recent IPO, right? Like IREDA. And if you have just been attending our live sessions, right? Even though you did not get an allotment into this IPO, right? Even though you did not get an allotment into this IPO, post listing, many of our members have had an entry here, right? Even here on a daily, you can just load your Donchian, and as the Donchian gives you an entry, you can just keep adding and continuing there, right? You can just, yes. So the Donchian entry, as it is a very recent IPO, the Donchian starts from here because it goes back and looks for the last 20 days, right? Last 20 days. So the Donchian has started from here. So all these are triggers for addition, right? For addition. So whoever have that, sir, I'm okay to take an entry into a position. I'm having some profit, but if I wanted to maximize my allocation and I wanted to increase my winner, Donchian is one of the important indicator to help you on that, right? To help you on that. Normally, we use Donchian only for addition into the stocks, right? For exit, we generally not use it much. We can use exponential moving average or parabolic stop and reset, PSAR, like that, which we are going to discuss in the next couple of sessions, right? In the next couple of sessions. But Donchian, we use it for addition. So let me know below, based on the Donchian, what are the companies you will be adding in your existing portfolio? So yes, in my existing portfolio, XYZ, these are the companies I'll be adding more because Donchian is giving me a trigger to add, right? Let me know below.